I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team, where we have a weather impact alert that is in effect for overnight and through the day on Wednesday, as we are tracking multiple rounds of rain that'll be moving through, and that rain will be heavy at times. We have a flood watch that's in effect that has been expanded to include areas also south and east of the city. It's already included all of North Georgia, but now more counties to the south and east of us have been added to it. And we're watching low-lying areas where we could see some water rising, also watching creeks and streams where we could have water rising as well. We have to watch on the roadways for ponding on the roadways. And, a lot of times when you're driving down the road, sometimes you may see some of those familiar areas where water tends to collect first. We need to be aware of that during the day tomorrow. You could definitely hydroplane. You can definitely lose control if you're not aware of that and if you're not slowing down in some of those spots. Take a look at this coverage of rain that we have over us right now. Just about all of us at least have some sort of rain coming in. The green color indicating the light rain. We've got a few pockets, though, of yellow and orange, meaning more of the moderate rain is kind of mixing in with all of that. We're covered up in Atlanta. Here to the east of us, not much shower activity out I-20 east, but that's about to change as all of that's going to continue moving on over to the east, closer into the city of Atlanta. What we're dealing with right now, mainly light rain, but we've had some of those pockets of moderate rain off and on through the evening hours tonight. You can see south and west of the city when you go down 85 through Coweta County, then in southern Coweta, the northern parts of Troup County into parts of Meriwether County. That's where we have a little bit more of that yellow and orange indicating more of that moderate rain that's moving through. North and east of the city, a couple of pockets of moderate rain as well. Northern Gwinnett, southern Forsyth County, also northern Forsyth County, moving into Hall County. This is all around Lake Lanier where we have some more of that moderate rain that's moving through. And in North Georgia, we're also watching in those highest elevations where we've had some glazing taking place as temperatures have been near the freezing mark. And with this rain moving in, there have been some glazing on mainly elevated surfaces, some tree limbs getting just a light coating there of some of that freezing rain or freezing mist on that. But again, that's in elevations mainly above 3,000 feet. Not a lot of people impacted by that. Back here to the Atlanta area, as we put this into motion, you can see that green as it goes through Atlanta. That's that mainly light rain. This is all pushing to the north and east, but we have more coming in. You can see the good coverage of that rain over North Georgia, north of I-20, south of I-20, good coverage of rain that's moving through there too. I want to kind of come out just a little bit more so you can see these areas on the south side. This heavier rain that's been going through Troup County and LaGrange, stretching down toward the Columbus area. This was coming out of Alabama. It was a little heavier in Alabama. We even had some thunder and lightning there earlier, but as this moves into West Georgia, still moderate to heavy rain with it, but it's not as heavy as it was over in Alabama. And we don't have any thunder and lightning with that on the south side either. So you can see stretching back into Alabama and Mississippi, there's more of that rain. That's just going to keep feeding into our area overnight tonight. And then in the morning, we may see a little break early, and then mid-morning to lunchtime into the afternoon, more bands of heavy rain moving in, and then even more, another band coming in later here on your Wednesday night. Here is that flood watch. If you'll recall, yesterday when this first came out, it was generally over North Georgia, north of I-20 here on the west side, and then it was north and west of the I-85 and 995 corridor. Well, today, the National Weather Service decided to expand that more to the south. So now it's south of I-20 and east of the I-85 corridor. It goes as far south as down near LaGrange, Meriwether County, over to Pike County, Spalding County, Henry County. There's Rockdale and Newton County, Walton County, Barrow County, as well as Jackson County, Banks County, up to White County, and into parts of Towns County over toward Union County too. All of those counties that you see in green, that is where we have this flood watch that's in effect, and it's going to be in these areas where we can see potentially 3 to 5 inches of rain. And we're saying 3 to 5 inches plus because there may even be some localized areas that pick up a little bit more than that. And that amount of rain and the runoff there in association with that would help to contribute to the potential for some of that water that could be collecting that could give us some spots of flooding. So for the overnight hours and through the day on Wednesday, that is when we have this weather impact alert. And the main impacts will be multiple rounds of rain moving through. And we'll also be watching in some spots, especially south and west of the city of Atlanta, that a couple of those storms could turn strong. We'll break that down for you as well. What I want you to know, though, what you need to do in these multiple rounds of rain, you need to watch for flooding when you're in your car. You need to slow down, watch for those flood-prone areas, also creeks and streams that could be rising here. So as we're tracking these impacts with the weather impact alert for tonight, for Tuesday into the nighttime hours, Wednesday, the weather impact alert is in effect. Then as we go into Thursday, no alert, but we're watching some minor impacts or some impacts here. The rain's going to be ending early in the day. Really for the rest of the day on Thursday, things are looking fine. Then on Friday, no real impacts here except for some cooler air and sunshine for Valentine's Day. Then going into Saturday and Sunday, we are looking for some impacts to come back. As of right now, we haven't issued an alert yet, but it is possible that we may issue a weather impact alert for Saturday night into Sunday morning as another band of rain moves through. That could have some stronger storms with it. We're waiting to get a better handle on the ingredients with that potential storm threat before we issue an alert. Then on Monday, the weather impacts are going to be on the low end as far as any rain or storms, but it is going to be a lot cooler going into Monday too. Here's a live look at what it looks like in the city of Atlanta, where we've got the rain around, low clouds. You can see the raindrops on the lens kind of diffusing some of that light a little bit. Here's the view at Hartsfield-Jackson, where the runways and taxiways are wet. Earlier, there were some delays at Hartsfield-Jackson. The FAA site said it was because of some runway construction. Now they're saying no delays. But again, whenever you've got rainy conditions, you'll definitely want to check your flight before you go. Your individual flight could have some delays to it. Take a look at these temperatures. Right now in Atlanta, we're 40 degrees. This is the 11 p.m. temperature. It's 40 in Peachtree City, 46 in LaGrange. Not as cold in LaGrange. Then go to the north and east, we see 30s, 39 in Duluth, 37 Canton, 37 in Gainesville, 34 in Clayton, and Athens right now, 37. That is the wedge of cooler air, and we call it the wedge. It's this northeasterly flow that brings in that shallow layer of cool air at the surface, and that's going to be sitting on us for the overnight hours and through the day tomorrow. Now, the models have a hard time, number one, forecasting this wedge, detecting when it's going to come in, how strong it's going to be, and when it is going to leave. Some of the models tomorrow, we have a range of temperatures in the different models. Some models are saying mid 40s for highs tomorrow. Other models are saying 67 degrees for highs tomorrow here in the Atlanta area. It all depends on if this wedge of cooler air breaks. So let me show you what this model is showing. On Wednesday morning, most likely temperatures in the lower 40s, 50s in LaGrange. Through the day, it shows that wedge trying to move up toward the north and east and move out, but I really think here in Atlanta, we'll most likely stay in the upper 40s to lower 50s for a high. And then as you go to the north and east, cooler, lower 40s in Gainesville, Duluth, and Athens. But as that warmer air starts to try to build in, look at LaGrange getting up to 71. Peachtree City at 60. So there's going to be a wide range of temperatures from 71 in LaGrange, 70 in Thomaston, to 41 in Gainesville. And so that wedge of cooler air, depending on how it stays on top of Metro Atlanta and Northeast Georgia, well, that cooler air is going to be more stable. So as we're tracking additional waves of rain coming in from Alabama and any storms that could develop in Alabama, if those storms move into Georgia, they will weaken as they hit that more stable air and that cooler air that we have at the surface. But what we need to watch is this area here, south and west of the city, where that air is warmer and could be more unstable. And that's where we have the potential for some storms to develop tomorrow. So the Storm Prediction Center has put much of West Georgia in a level 2 risk. I think that's overdoing it a bit, because I do think it's going to take a little longer than maybe the model they're looking at, where it's going to be warm and unstable. So I really think that tomorrow, and Chesley will have the update early tomorrow morning here, the level 2 risk should be more down here, and the level 1 risk should probably end around the Atlanta area. But again, we'll wait and see how the Storm Prediction Center updates this during the day tomorrow based on how the wedge is forecast to erode. But the reason I'm still showing you this, even though I don't totally agree with it, is because I want you to know that there is going to be a chance, especially south and west of the city, where we could have some isolated stronger storms that develop. The main threats would be those pockets of heavy rain, maybe some strong winds, and there's a low risk for an isolated tornado that could develop. So here's a look at this wave of rain moving through overnight. This is at 3 in the morning, light rain around. In the morning at 7, some spots could see some breaks, but that won't last long. We'll have this wave coming in mid-morning to around lunchtime. Again, pockets of moderate to heavy rain with it. That's with us through the afternoon. That'll break late afternoon into early evening, but then that break doesn't last long. We'll have additional rain. This is at 10 o'clock. And then late at night moving through by 3 in the morning, still rain around on Wednesday night to Thursday morning. Finally, the back edge moves out once we get into the early morning hours here on Thursday. Then the clouds will slowly break up, we think, later in the day on Thursday. So drier air is going to start filtering in and maybe some sunshine breaking through late in the afternoon. Then going into Friday, it's going to be cold to start. Temperatures in the 30s Friday morning, and then afternoon highs are only going to be in the 50s with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. And it'll be a nice Valentine's Day, a nice day to end the week. But then we head into the weekend with another round of rain and the potential for storms late Saturday into Sunday. So you can see the rain chances at 90% on Wednesday, down to 30% on Thursday. That's mainly in the morning hours, dry for a big part of the day on Thursday. Friday looks dry, rain chances back to 40% Saturday, 60% on Sunday. Look at this rain comparison. The models are not in total agreement. The American model showing 2 to maybe 3 inches in the metro area, the north metro area, 3 to maybe 4 to 5 on the north side, lower amount south of I-20. But the European model is showing 4 to 5 inches in Atlanta, higher amounts on the north side, slightly lower on the south side. So we'll keep an eye on that, on those rain totals as they're coming in. So you can see the low temperatures kind of up and down, afternoon highs also up and down, all depending on those rain chances and the cooler air trying to move in. Weather impact alert remains in effect for Wednesday. We will see Thursday improving weather once that rain moves out. Friday, mostly sunny and dry. Temperatures up to 58 degrees. And then 60s for the weekend, but that rain chance coming back. Storms possible overnight Saturday into Sunday. Once that clears out, Monday and Tuesday, we'll have dry conditions, but it's going to be cold. Morning lows below freezing. Highs in the 40s on Monday, back to the 50s Tuesday.